Hi, this is Dr. Samuel Cooper of North Endicott Chiropractic, and today we're going to talk about drinking alcohol. There's been a lot of misinformation about alcohol, much of it intentional. The companies that produce alcohol have sponsored a lot of research to show that alcohol is good for you in moderate amounts. This is deliberate misinformation. I'm going to tell you what the research shows and how it has been deliberately misinterpreted. First, you have to understand that for people that abstain from drinking, there are two categories of people. The people that just never drink because they never wanted to or they chose not to. And then there are the people that were out and out alcoholics, may have really wrecked their liver before they ever stopped drinking, and are not drinking because they can't. The reason this is misleading is because the main effect of alcohol consumption is from liver damage. The liver is your main detoxifying organ in the body, except for perhaps your skin. And as a detoxification organ, when it doesn't work, your body can't clear damaging things to your body, such as carcinogens. So I consider alcohol a serious carcinogen, because when it damages your liver and you can't clear other carcinogens, that in effect is carcinogenic. What they've found is that alcohol consumption is especially dangerous for things like breast and prostate cancer. But some of the research has misleadingly shown that you're best off moderate drinking as opposed to abstaining or drinking heavily, because they compared the abstainers, which includes the alcoholics that are now abstaining because they've already wrecked their livers, to those that only drink 1 or 2 drinks a day. And that seemed to indicate that the people that were only drinking 1 or 2 drinks a day were better than the abstainers, but when it was broken down, it was found that that was because the abstainers included the alcoholics who had already wrecked their livers. So when women produce estrogen in their ovaries, the liver has the job of breaking that estrogen down into a weaker form of estrogen that is not promoting of breast cancer or cervical cancer or uterine cancer. And when the body's liver is shot from taking pharmaceutical drugs, from exposure to pollution, from exposure to alcohol, it doesn't do as good a job. And that means you're more likely to develop cancers. And this is especially of concern because a lot of young women who have never had children are especially prone to those damaging effects. Pregnancy actually weakens, it accelerates the function of the liver to break down the estrogen into a weaker form that's not carcinogenic. And that's why pregnancies, and especially with nursing, which prolongs the different profile of estrogens in the body, is protective against estrogenic cancers. And women who've never had a baby and are now adding alcohol to inhibit the liver's ability to break down these toxins, they're only toxic if they remain in the highest, most concentrated, potent form. They become less toxic when the liver does its normal job and breaks it down to a weaker form. So this is a definite problem. Of course, many forms of alcohol are also highly caloric, like beer, and it's empty calories at the very best. Some people have argued that wine is good for you because it has all the good polyphenols, and there's some truth in this, but it's exaggerated. Much of the claim to fame of wine was very unscientific. What they said was the French don't seem to have high heart disease, and yet they eat a lot of fat, therefore it must be the wine. That was simply a huge leap without logic. What the research now shows is that fat is not particularly dangerous to the heart. except for the really bad ones like margarine and the vegetable oils that oxidize at a low temperature, the ones that are in the clear bottles you see in the grocery store. Butter and animal fat, there's not much evidence that these are promoting heart disease. The book, The Big Fat Surprise, went into a lot of detail on this. Now, I'm not saying it's not that there's nothing to it, because they are somewhat more inflammatory than, say, fish oil, the fats in most farm animal products. But the carbohydrates seem to do more on this, promoting high triglyceride levels, which is much more damaging to the heart than high cholesterol levels. So that's a little bit about fish oil. And for those that are determined that they will not, oh, by the way, you may see krill oil. Krill oil is okay. I have a small problem with it, and it's a problem with fish oil as well, and that's that the seas are being over-farmed for krill oil. The only competitors to it with humans on a major way are the great whales that eat tons of these, and fish in general is being overfished, and it is definitely a problem. But krill is very much so as well. It's a perfectly good form of essential fatty acids. For those that are determined to get it from a vegetarian source, you may find an algae oil that's fairly good. If you're going to take something like flax and borage seed oil, you're going to need a lot more of it, because it's much less potent in the active ingredients EPA and DHA. So that's what I wanted to say about fish oil. Thank you.